Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 45th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we're going to begin our discussion on date and time functions. And in this one we are going to check out four important date and time functions. The first one that we're going to have a look at is the add date function, and as the name of the function suggests, this function is used to add date values, right? So the syntax of the function that we're going to check out in this course, with this syntax you can add, given number of days or months or years to a given date value, right? So I'll type in select first and then the name of the function, which is add date. I'll get in a set of parentheses, and within single quotes I'll put in a date value. And the default format for typing in date values in SQL is you type in the year first in 4 digits, and then you put a hyphen and then 2 digits for the month. So if it's July, then you'll have to put 07 instead of just 7, and then you put another hyphen and you then type in your day, right? So if it's 6 July, then you'll have to type in 07-06, right? So that's what you'll have to do. So if I have to get in the date, let's say 20th November 1989, I'll type in 1989 first, put in a hyphen, and then 11 for November and 20 for the 20th day of the month, right? Then I'll put a comma and I'll type in the keyword interval, right? And then let's say I want to add 25 days to this value, so I'll type in 25 and then the keyword day, right? So what you have to note here is you don't have to write in days, but you have to write day, right? I'll put a semicolon at the end, and when I execute this function I see that I get the result 15 December 1989. So if you add 25 days to this value, then you'll get this, right? And if you want to add 25 months instead, all you have to do is replace day with month, that's month, and again you don't have to type in months but just month, and execute the function to get 20th December 1991. And if you want to add, let's say, 25 years to it, then you type in year instead of month, and there you go. You see that 25 years later this date would become 20th November 2014. And similar to this function is the subdate function, which is, as you can guess, used to subtract values from a given date, right? So I'll change this to day first, and I'll change the function name to subdate from add date, right? So what we're going to do now is find out, if you subtract 25 days from this date value, then what would be the value in the result set, and that would be 26th October 1989. So 25 days ago this date was 26th October 1989. If you want to check out 25 months ago, what was the value? The value was 20th October 1987, and you can similarly check for year, right? So the next function that we're going to check out is the curDate function, and what the curDate function is used for, it gives you the current date of the system. And what I mean by that is, if you have MySQL, or for that matter any other RDBMS installed on a system, and if you execute the curDate function or the curTime function, then the values that you get are the values that the system is currently working with. And I'll just explain this. So I'll type in the name of the function curDate, and I'll get in a set of parentheses, put in a semicolon. So you have to note that you don't have to pass anything to this function as an argument. You just have to have an empty set of parentheses. When I execute the function, I get 15th January 2014. So that's today's date. And if you want to know the time, the current time, then you have to execute the function curTime, and we see that the time is 1:12 p.m. and 10 seconds, right? So it also tells the number of seconds. And if suppose I change the date and time of my system, so if suppose I change the time to 1:32 p.m. and execute this function now, I see that in the result set I get 1:32. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that the time that this function returns, or the date that the curDate function returns, those values are the values with which your system is working with. And if you've got your SQL environment set up on a server, then whatever the date and time settings of the server are, those values will be displayed when you execute these functions, and not the actual values. I mean, this function is not pulling out stuff from the internet, it's just returning whatever your system is working with. So that's it for now. I hope you guys are having fun in this series, and in the next tutorial we're going to check out some more date and time functions. And thank you so much for watching this one, and you may subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.